Hello, hello everyone. Happy Tuesday. This is Barb Reed, the Wexford Stamper, and do we have a fun project for this evening? Fun and yummy. Hello everyone. Thanks for jumping on. Cheryl and Deb and Sharon and Joanne, my girls. All righty. I am excited to share this project. One reason is that it uses the amazing Pansy Petals Suite, which I have really gotten my money's worth out already, and I love it. And it's so quick and easy to make. So I'm excited to get started. Let's first talk about the products that I'm going to be using this evening. Okay, I'm going to be using the bundle. This is the Pansy Patch bundle. This is the stamp set, photopolymer stamp set, and the coordinating dies. Now, I'm not going to be using any of the stamps this evening to make flowers. I'm just going to be using one of the sentiments, and I'm going to be using one of the dies to cut out my pansies from the designer series paper, which is another amazing product in this suite. If you haven't gotten your hands on this beautiful pansy paper yet, you need to do it. I have used all mine up and I'm waiting for more to show up tomorrow. So tomorrow's a big day. I get my stuff for my paper shares and for my May product kit. So I'm excited. So yes, so those are really the only two things that I have to show you this evening. And always remember that you don't need to worry about any of the dimensions. Everything will be listed on my blog. And my blog is thewexfordstamper.blogspot.com. And if you go to my blog and find this post there, there is also a PDF to download that will have all the measurements and the products that I'm using this evening. So just sit back and have fun watching the crafting going on. Have some coffee. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, I'm also going to be creating a little coordinating card. I thought this would be a really cute little gift you could put on somebody's desk, or just a quick thinking of you kind of a gift. And then this is just a little card that you can have to coordinate with it. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the snacks that are inside. I already posted a picture of these before. These are new to me. I hadn't seen them anywhere before. These are Hostess Baby Bundt Cakes. And Angie at Stampin' with Amore was one that had originally made a box with this design but did not use the pansies. So I thought I'm going to take hers and I'm going to kind of pansify this cute little design. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's show you how they open. Okay, very simple. It opens like this. Okay, and then these are the size of the little bundt cakes. So cute. They're lemon and cinnamon. And I put a piece of window sheet in there in the circle, and I'll show you how I did that. You wouldn't really need to do that if you didn't want to, because the little cake is wrapped in plastic as well. But it's a very simple design, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, this is what your PDF would look like if you go ahead and download that from my blog. That will be up there by the end of the evening, as will this little video tutorial. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to make the one this evening. We're going to use the So Succulent. This is one of the new in colors. I love it. Such a pretty color. And this piece of cardstock is cut at 9 by 6 3/4. Okay, I'm going to grab my scoring board, knock off all the scraps first, and we're going to go with the long side first. Okay, and on that 9-inch side, we're going to score at 1/2, 3 1/4, 4 3/4, 7 1/2. Okay, remember all these numbers will be on my blog post. On the short side, we're going to score at 1/2, 2, 4 3/4, 6 1/4. All right, those are all the score lines that we need. I'm going to go ahead and grab one of my bone folders. I hope everyone is doing well today. It was a gorgeous day today. So gorgeous that as soon as I get ready to do my Facebook Live, everybody revs up their mowers and their weed whackers. So you might hear those in the background, but I can talk loud. I taught 3rd grade, so I am a loud talker. All right, so there is all the score lines creased, and now I'm going to bring in a template of what we want our box to look like. All right, so you're going to notice I have this piece of paper in a portrait position with the very thin strip going horizontally along the bottom. Okay, and if you notice here, I'm going to be cutting out much of this first panel here because we're just going to have the part that comes over as the lid. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, you're going to come in 2 score lines, 2 vertical score lines, 1, 2, and you're going to cut through 1 horizontal up to the 2nd. Okay, and then you're going to cut that right off because we are forming the lid that's going to flop over. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Come in 2 vertical score lines and cut up to the 2nd horizontal, and then cut that piece off. All right, so far so good. I'm going to go ahead and nip in on the corners here just to help that flap go more easily inside the box when we close it. All right, now I'm going to turn it this way, and we are going to create the flaps now. Okay, so here we go. We're going to cut up to the 2nd score line, the 2nd horizontal, up to the 2nd horizontal. Now these are going to be our flaps, these 2 here. So we're going to cut off this outside little rectangle on both of those. And then we're going to go ahead and take the corners off those to make those tabs go in a little easier. They are going to be adhered behind the side panel here to hold the box together. Okay, now we're going to leave this one the way it is because that will be the panel that folds over. Let me show you here. It folds over into the box. Now we will have to cut them a little thinner, but they fold over into the box. These are important to have because if you didn't have these and cut those right off, your lid is going to just sink right into the box. So it's important to have these to hold up and keep the box lid flat. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, so next, let's just turn over here. We're going to turn it the other way and we're going to cut again. I hope everyone is going to be coming to our bingo. That's coming up in a couple of weeks on the 23rd. We're having a free event, and it's a bingo event where Dory and I are going to be showcasing some of the new product in the new annual catalog that's just gone live this month. And between demonstrations, we're going to go ahead and we're going to play bingo. So let us know if you're going to come. Your demonstrator will be calling you soon or messaging you soon to get your numbers for bingo. And you'll understand that a little bit more as it comes closer. All right, so here is my So Succulent one. We're ready to roll with that one. Okay, I'm going to put my template away. I'm going to grab my paper. And I'm going to use the So Succulent little check. And that is going to go right on the lid of my box. Okay, so the lid is, I believe it's 2 3/4. Yep, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So this is 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. And I'm going to go ahead and take my Tombow, and I'm going to put this right on the front of my box. Okay. All right, now I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I'm glad you're excited about the bingo. We're kind of excited too. We're kind of figuring it out as we go, but we're going to do our best. I'm going to be using here my 2-inch circle punch, and I know this is no longer available at Stampin' Up, but I just love it. I've hung on to it for many years. You can also use a 2-inch die, circle die, or you can use a square die, whatever you have that you can cut out that front panel. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut out the center of my, and this is the way I'm going to do that. I'm thinking, what am I missing here? Okay, I'm going to take a Post-it note. This is a good way to make sure you're getting it right in the middle. And I'm going to punch the circle out of the Post-it note. Okay, there is my circle. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead. There's a little bit of sticky on the back, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place my Post-it note down on my lid, just where I want it to, my hole to be punched. Okay, so now I don't have to guess. Okay, I actually think it's a little too far over that way. Let's try a little bit more this way. I think that's better. Okay, so now you don't have to guess because it's hard. It's a small lid and you really can't see anything once you put the punch on. So this is a way to, you can make sure that you're going in the right spot. Then you're just going to bring your punch over, right over where you placed the Post-it note, and then you just punch it right out, and there you have it. And you might have a tiny little scrap of the Post-it note around the edge, but we know that's right where we want our circle to be. All right, there we go. All right, now before we put our box together, we're going to take a 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 inch piece of the window sheet. The window sheet is available in the Stampin' Up catalog. Okay, I'm going to turn this over and we're going to put that on the inside. And the way I'm going to do that, I am going to put a glue dot. Let me get my, okay, I'm going to get my glue dot here, and I'm going to put a glue dot on all 4 corners, pretty close to where the hole in the lid is. And those are going to help hold on the window sheet. I would not recommend using any type of wet glue. That can make a big mess. So use the glue dots and put them down right like that. And then you're just going to lay your window sheet down right over those and push them down. And there you go. You have your window for your box. All right, very simple. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab my Tombow again, and we're going to start building our box. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just going to put a nice thin layer of the Tombow on all 4 of my tabs, and just fold the box and then fold that under, just like you would with any box. Okay, do the same thing over here. Then we're going to do the 2 back tabs. We're going to just fold them in and behind. And let's get that one in and behind. There we go. So it's really quite simple design of a box, of your box. Comes together super easy. Let me fold that one in a little bit closer. There we go. Okay, now let me show you. If you didn't have these little short little flaps here on the end, when you close this, see how the lid would just kind of sink right into the box. Okay, we don't want that to happen. So that's why we have these two little tabs on the end. Now, with sometimes depending on where you put your hole, you can kind of see a tiny little bit of those on the end. So what I did with that, I am just going to cut off. If that doesn't bother you, you can leave it. But I cut off maybe 1/4 of an inch of each of the tabs, just so we wouldn't see them when the box is closed. All right, there we go. All right, so now we can put those over and then close the front of our box, and there we have it. All right, so there is our box. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of decorating. Very simple decorations for this. And I've done this before and talked to you about this before. What's great about this suite is there's actually 3 ways to make pansies with this. Okay, you can stamp it and then cut it out with the dies. You can cut it with the dies directly out of the designer series paper, even though you can't say it, like I did here. Or you can make your pansies out of cardstock using the dies that are a little textured. Okay, so we're going to use this one here, and I love this one that has the coordination with the So Succulent and then the cute little daisy. I like the difference in the color, so I decided to try that one today. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on the back of my daisy. And then I am just going to go ahead and adhere him right to the left side of the box, like that. Okay, as with the flowers, there are also leaf dies that you can use to cut out your leaves from the designer series paper. Okay, so I'm just going to put a glue dot on the back of this because I really don't want to get out my liquid glue that's going to be touching the window sheet. And I'm just going to go ahead and tuck this under right there. Okay, so there is my pansy. Now I just have a little bit of stamping to do to finish up this project. And as I told you, I'm going to be using the thank you from the Pansy Patch bundle. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and stamp that on this 5/8 inch strip of basic white cardstock. Let's see how it goes. There we go, not bad. All right, now we're going to go ahead, I'm going to cut off this end here, and then I'm going to cut a little banner tail over here. I'll show you how I do it. I cut in from the middle, and then I go down to the bottom corner and go from there to the point that I cut into, and then do the same on the top. And there is your little banner. Okay, let's turn that over, and we'll go ahead and put our dimensionals on the back. Kind of had trouble deciding where to place this. First I thought maybe here and here, so you can really decide where you would want to put it. I ended up going with the top right, but that's totally up to you, and it may depend on what your sentiment is. All right, so there is the box. How easy is that? So fun, so simple. All right, now we're going to make the little card, and the card is very simple. I tried to kind of mimic the front of the box. So I have another piece of the So Succulent design cardstock. This is cut at 6 by 3, and then scored at 3 on the long side just to make a little 3x3 mini card. Now, Stampin' Up! Has 3x3 mini card envelopes in their catalog if you want to put your mini card in an envelope when you give it away. So check that out. That's in the Paper Basics in the back of the catalog. All right, I'm going to take a piece of the same pretty So Succulent check. This is cut at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. See, there are the leaves on the back there. Those are the things that you can cut out using your dies. Or you can stamp them, or you can make them with the die cuts. So it gives you lots of great options. All right, so there is the front. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put in my basic white inside for the sentiment. And this is also cut at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. There we go. All right, very simple here. I didn't really put any sentiment on this. We're just going with the pansy. All right, so let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna take my purple pansy, and that's gonna kind of go off a little bit to the left and diagonal. Let me get my, using up all my dimensionals today. Okay, there we go. And that is going to go right here on the card, just like that. And then I'm gonna grab 2 of the leaves. Okay, these are the leaves that you can not punch out, but die cut from the paper. Okay, let's go ahead with these 2 here. Let's see, let's go with the 2 like this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn those over and just put a little bit of glue on the back, and then I'm just gonna slide them in under the pansy and let them adhere to the paper. All right, so I'm gonna put this one here. Make sure your leaf does not go off the side of your card, or it will get all crunched up when you put it in the envelope. And there's my second one right there. And you lift up the flower a little more. There we go. All right, so there is the little pansy right on the front. Last thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a cute little baker's twine bow, and I'm going to put one of those on my glue dot. The knot goes right on the glue dot. I'm going to grab my pick tool and pick that up off the roll. And then I'm just going to put that right down here on the bottom right of my little card. And there you have it. So there is my box and my coordinating card. Very simple, easy, fun to do. I'd love to see if you make any of these. Please post and let me see. I found the easiest place to get the cakes were at Walmart. But we did a little bit of searching around for them. So you might want to check online to make sure they have them before you go anywhere, because they were a little harder to find, and Walmart was our place. So, all right, so that is my project for this evening. I hope you enjoyed it, and this will wrap up my Pansy Petals projects. How about that? Next week, we're going to be making a peekaboo gift bag. So come on and join us next Tuesday evening and learn how to make that peekaboo gift bag. All right, take care and keep on stamping. Bye now.